All right, guys, welcome back in to the channel. I'm Jake Ellenbogen, and today we're going to be talking about some breaking news, surprising news, and news I didn't expect to see. The Rams are waiving the linebacker that was most known for sending the Rams to the Super Bowl. Travin Howard, the former draft pick out of TCU, is actually being waived. Now, there is a chance he could come back on a cheaper deal, but make no mistake about it, this is a very financial decision. Obviously wasn't getting paid a ton, signed the tender, pretty much the minimum there, and it was only going to be a one-year deal. So to waive a guy like this is very clearly speaking volumes to the signing of Aaron Donald, adding $40 million to the payroll, giving him $40 million raise, the potential of signing Cooper Kupp to an extension, which they are working on, and OBJ. That is what this screams to me. This is not by any stretch. When you look at last year, I know the Rams trade Kenny Young, wasn't long after they get Von Miller. I don't think it's anything like that. I don't think we're going to get a giant move or anything like that. I do, however, think this is very financial driven. And again, that's not to say he won't come back, but kind of a weird move. It also, I guess, these are the guys, the decisions that the Rams make, these are based on, plenty of research and obviously knowing, hey, can we do this? Do we need to, kind of shift around the books a little bit? And I think essentially this move is saying they do. Now, you here are probably wondering what this means for the Rams and getting rid of a guy like Travin Howard, who was set to be the third linebacker, and especially for a team that really didn't go out and sign anybody. Obviously they get Bobby Wagner, and that's great, and he's going to be with Ernest Jones, but what could they possibly be doing at linebacker, I think is the question people are asking. Well, I would take your attention to right over to the UDFA out of Iowa State, Jake Hummel. I think he is somebody that was probably the top tier UDFA they got, and he's somebody I really like. I think he was going to make the 53-man roster. I actually had him over Christian Roseboom way too early, 53-man roster projection, but this is somebody that I think is going to get an opportunity now. But it might not even just be about the linebackers. This is a position we've seen in the past. The Rams have literally used safeties at linebacker, the pseudo linebacker spot. I've mentioned it with Taylor Rapp before, Mark Barron in the past, Nick Scott in preseason. The list goes on. J.R. Reed, who's no longer with the Rams, Juju Hughes, Terrell Burgess. I think even Quentin Lake could have an opportunity, or maybe this opens up an opportunity for a guy like, say I wasn't even certain he was going to make the roster because of just the how much depth they have in the back end of the secondary. But Russ Yeast, maybe he gets an opportunity now in the secondary, and they keep a safety there because they designate one of the safeties as a linebacker, and so they feel better keeping him. Who knows? I think a lot of things opened up here, a lot of possibilities. I'm going to go with the one that I feel like is most likely. They want Travin Howard back if he's willing to, take a pay cut, a cheaper deal, if you will, because they did sign him to the minimum for what would be a tag, or rather a tender, the franchise tender. So not necessarily a franchise tag, a lot less than a franchise tag, but a roster tender. So now that they have waived him, if nobody claims him, which I think somebody will and somebody should, then I do think that Travin Howard is there. The Rams could bring him back on a cheaper deal if he's willing. Obviously, getting released, getting waived, getting cut, no matter how you want to call it, it's a little personal. At least sometimes it feels that way. Yeah, it's a business, but there are times players take it a little personal. And so I'm not necessarily guaranteeing that even though Travin Howard has had some success with the Rams, and, even though, at the end of the day, this is somebody that, I think can definitely make an impact for this team. He didn't do a ton last year, as you can see there, 43 tackles, 6 pass breakups, and 1 interception for his career. But this is somebody that I think offers a really good value as the third linebacker. And now if Bobby Wagner or, God forbid, Ernest Jones goes down, you would definitely want to see him there. if he wants to leave, and I do think he's got the talent to, and not come back to the Rams, even if he clears waivers, then it opens up the door for Christian Roseboom. It opens up the door for Jake Hummel, and I think it really saves the value of what Taylor Rapp is to the Rams, because he is on a contract year just like Nick Scott. And I think, the best way to add value is obviously add positional flexibility and versatility. And that is something that I think Taylor Rapp has had, as well as Nick Scott, to get all of those talented safeties out there on the field at once. They might have to use the linebacker spot. And so I think the third guy could be Taylor Rapp. It could be a Nick Scott, Terrell Burgess, something like that. But definitely think Jake Hummel is going to work his way onto this roster. Felt that way before this move. Now it just confirms it for me. If Travin Howard does not come back to the Rams, I do wish him the best of luck. I think he's a talented player in a league where there's a lot of talent, but there's not a lot of opportunity. And when he got the opportunity, he made the most of it. Obviously, we do know the interception, the tip ball interception against the 49ers to send the Rams to the Super Bowl will always be celebrated. But regardless, this is a really good player. This isn't just a guy that, I'm trying to pump up. I mean, I don't think he needs to be pumped up. I've been a fan of him for a while, a former safety, converted linebacker. I do think no matter where he goes, though, he's somebody that can contribute right away. We saw it with Kenny Young. We saw it with Micah Kaiser. These guys leave, and other teams are like, okay, they played for the Rams. We can find a role for them. Don't be surprised that there are teams out there that are interested in a guy like Travin Howard and what he can do and provide for a defense. So he might not be back, but regardless, I think the Rams, you can trust them. They know what they're doing. It sucks. Obviously, this is a guy that, I don't know if I would say fan favorite, but I think a lot of fans do like Travin Howard. I'm a big fan of him. Been pushing for him for a while. So it is a bummer to see him go out like this if this is the end. Not even get a chance to run it back. I know there was a graphic out there that had him running it back with the Rams. So that's a little upsetting. But at the end of the day, this is a very good player, very talented, very athletic. And he's going to help any defense he goes into, whether, it be in a reserve role, backup role, spot starter, or just a go-ahead starter. So we're going to find out soon, but that is what's happened. Travin Howard has been waived by the LA Rams, and stock goes way up for Jake Hummel and Christian Roseboom and Taylor Rapp and guys like that. So before you head on out of here, if you enjoyed this, be sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to hit the thumbs up. It really does help me out. And also, if you like this, you can follow me at JK Bogan. I have plenty more where this came from. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys soon. Later.